I love VR. My main issue with VR is not really the lack of headsets or how expensive the headset and the computer to run the headset can be. And while that is a very big issue, I understand. My main issue with VR is the games. There's a lot of fun games out there, don't get me wrong. I love the games I have, just not a lot of variety within the games. Most VR games nowadays are either a first-person shooter or, if you get my point. And I've always been dying, ever since playing a game like Half-Life Alyx, to get a game that does something new. Not exactly new in the terms of video game new, because that's getting harder and harder each day with new games coming out doing the new thing, but something new for VR, basically. Half-Life Alyx was one of the first VR games I ever played that had an in-depth story that got me hooked. It was also made by Valve, so I didn't expect anything less. But there aren't that many VR games that don't involve PvP, first-person shooting, blah 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 blah. And I'm not saying those games are bad. I love Pavlov, Onward, and all those other games. It's just rare to get a big game with a lot of attention to detail that utilizes VR and isn't about a PvP combat shooter. So when I discovered Into the Radius, I was really excited to see a VR game that becomes a survival game, a survival horror game that uses stealth and a unique, creepy world. I was immediately drawn in. I love survival games, I love horror games, and I've always been interested in the Stalker series. I've never played a game myself, but they've always seemed unique and interesting. So when I discovered Into the Radius, I was immediately sinking my wallet into my PC. And I can say I'm not disappointed. This game is amazing. It has constantly made me want to go back. It's got a great atmosphere and world. It's got a story going along that, granted, I don't know much about as I haven't gotten that far into the story, is still really unique and cool. And I'm really excited to see this game come out because it shows the potential for VR. Now, I want to say this, I know there's an active beta out for Into the Radius, and after I finish this recording, I'm going to go play that beta, but all the experience and footage you will see is from the current early access version, unless I take forever to upload this video and the beta comes out officially. Just want to let you know. Into the Radius is a game where, if you know Stalker, the game Stalker series, it's like that but in VR, as some people have told me. Like I said, I've never played Stalker, but it seems similar. But basically, you are in this area affected by something called the Radius that has bent reality and physics around it. Everything doesn't look normal. Everything is singed and burnt. The world is surrounded by invisible and dangerous anomalies that will do everything they can to kill you. And you are a stalker who goes in and out scavenging for materials, whether that be guns, snapping a picture, or delivering the cores of creatures you've killed. And it's great. It's great because it does everything it needs to make a good VR game. It optimizes it. It utilizes what makes VR great through its stealth mechanics, and one of my favorite things I've ever seen in a VR game, the backpack. Now, in VR, there's some inventory systems depending on the game you want to play, but usually inventory is for more survival games, and there aren't that many survival games in VR, excluding Minecraft VR and No Man's Sky, but those games weren't originally built for VR. I still think they're amazing in VR, but they aren't VR games. And seeing the backpack system in Into the Radius, where you actually get to manipulate the items in your backpack, have to have your own organization system, like what you would with an actual backpack, it's the main reason I wanted to buy this game. It utilizes VR, and not just has you scrolling through menus and menus, pressing buttons on your controllers. No, you have to open it by grabbing it and you move the items. I think it's amazing. The fact that the inventory system doesn't work on a slot mechanic, but more like an over-encumbrance mechanic like Fallout games or Skyrim, where the more items you have, the slower you get. It keeps it simple and nice, where you can keep the organization to how you want because you don't have to worry about slots, you just have to worry about the amount of items you have. This inventory system is, and I will say this with 100% honesty, I think one of the greatest things to come out of a VR game. The game also does other things great, like the atmosphere. Just walking around in this world, hearing the ambience of buildings or just walking through the streets really gives off this unnerving, otherworldly feeling to the world, which is what you're exploring. You're exploring something that is not natural, that's creepy, and you should know that everything can and will kill you. And the visuals, the sound effects, the gameplay, all revolve around this. The enemies are pretty cool. Granted, I haven't gone deep into the game, so I've only encountered some of the most basic ones, but I was terrified when a man started glitching. I thought this was a glitch. Then a man with a halo started attacking me.
Harvester go. What was that? Oh my gosh! Nope! Goodbye! See you later! Peace! Gone!
It's
Go!
Enderman, dude! Shoot it!
Die! I don't have anything left. Give me my gun!
Into the Radius is just one of those games that shows the potential for VR, and the fact that not every VR game has to be fast action or high-paced or tactical VR shooter. Granted, I don't think those games are bad, but I think we could really use for diversity in more of the game genres in VR. More survival games, more explorative games. Maybe not horror-filled like this one, but this game does show a step in the right direction. The beta seems pretty interesting, and I'm excited to go check it out. I think you should buy this game. It is great. The developers seem to be putting a lot of effort and work into it. And that's about all I gotta say for the game. It's good, optimizes what makes VR great, and it shows the potential VR has. Anyway, I've been putting off making this video too long. I haven't uploaded a video in forever, and I'm probably gonna regret this recording a couple minutes later. So I'm gonna stop this now, and I'll see you guys next time.